What you're watching, obviously, is one man degrade himself, but it's bigger than that. It's the definition of ideological extremism. And that's the inability to change course no matter what the evidence tells you. So that's the point at which this is no longer politics, of course. We left that a long time ago. What you're looking at is religion. And, of course, being the Democratic Party and their religion, it's always the exact opposite of what they claim it is. So as President Trump noted in a recent letter to Nancy Pelosi, and we're quoting, you are the ones interfering in America's elections. You are the ones subverting American democracy. You are the ones bringing pain and suffering to our republic for your own selfish, personal, political, and partisan gain.
Impeachment is a rare action of the U.S. House. For Donald Trump, however, Democrats have been talking about impeaching him ever since he entered the White House in January 2017. They've been looking for any excuse to pass articles of impeachment. Today, True News will present evidence about the Impeach Trump movement that is shocking, compelling, and undeniable. This newscast will infuriate many powerful people and organizations. My name will be smeared for daring to say the obvious truth. And that truth is this: the Impeach Trump movement is a Jew coup. Plain and simple, the men and women who are the driving forces to remove Donald J. Trump from the White House are Jews. America is in the throes of a political coup led by Jews. President Trump is surrounded by a rabid pack of seditious, treacherous Jews who are intent on overthrowing the votes of millions of Christians who elected him in 2016. Sadly, nobody in America except me has the courage and backbone to publicly say it because they fear the repercussions. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It isn't a trope. And it isn't anti-Semitic. It is the acknowledgement of something that is visible for all to see. The Jewish conspiracy to impeach Donald Trump started in 2017, only months after President Trump entered the White House. An article of impeachment was filed against President Trump on July 13, 2017, by California Congressman Brad Sherman. He accused President Trump of obstruction of justice over the firing of FBI Director James Comey. Congressman Sherman is a Jew. After that, July 2017, the next person to speak up calling for impeachment was billionaire Tom Steyer. And this article quotes billionaire Tom Steyer saying this guy is cracking up. The headline, Billionaire Tom Steyer on his crusade to impeach Donald Trump. This is January of 2018. This is Time magazine. And so this is the next major person that began calling for the impeachment of Donald Trump. We're looking back now, 2017, 2018. At that time, it was a faint drumbeat, impeach Trump, impeach Trump.
Yes.
But the two men who were beating the drums were Jews.
Yes.
Now, it is a full marching band of Jewish drummers. Back then, it was a little drummer boy.
Right.
Brad Sherman and Tom Steyer. Now it's a marching band. It's a marching band of Jews calling for the impeachment of Donald Trump.
Right.
Jews who represent 2% of the American population. And somehow they have this enormous clout and power in America. Okay, so there was a second article of impeachment filed. This was August 2017.
Right. This was Representative Steve Cohen. He's a representative. He followed this after the protest that broke out in Charlottesville.
Okay, Steve Cohen is a Democratic congressman, state of Tennessee, and he's Jewish.
Yes.
And he filed articles of impeachment August 17, 2017. So we now have 2 articles of impeachment filed against President Trump in his first year in office, first year and a half. And both articles of impeachment were filed by Jews.
Right.
Okay, so I want all the Trump voters out there to realize your man that they're trying to take out, this is all being led by Jews, financed by Jews, orchestrated by Jews. I don't know how to say it any other way. It is what it is. This is a Jew coup. This is a takeover of our country by a very small percentage of people who are overthrowing the votes of millions of Christians. And when they get Trump out, you're next.
That's right.
This is what Bolshevik revolutions look like. Next one, Times of Israel. Notice these are all Jewish publications. Times of Israel, July 31st, 2019. Leading Jewish Democrat in House backs Trump impeachment. This was put out by the Jewish Telegraph Agency. Representative Elliot Engel of New York, senior Democrat, influential moderate, and leader among pro-Israel lawmakers, has called for U.S. President Donald Trump's impeachment. The only thing else I need to say here is Mr. Engel is a Jew. Next story, Times of Israel, August 1st, 2019. Leading Jewish Democrat Nita Lowry endorses Trump impeachment. Nita Lowry of New York, the chairwoman of the powerful U.S. House of Representatives Appropriations Committee, is the latest mainstream Jewish Democrat to endorse impeaching President Donald Trump. The latest. There's a group of 8 Democrats, including 2 Jews, Max Rose of New York and Elisa Slotkin of Michigan. They had opposed Trump's impeachment for obstruction of justice, but they changed their minds in September when Trump sought to extort Ukraine a pledge to investigate Vice President Joe Biden. I want to mention Congresswoman Elisa Slotkin of Michigan is a former CIA agent.
That's right.
She's Jewish and a former CIA agent. And so you have a former CIA agent now in the House, a Jewish congresswoman who is now orchestrating a Jew coup against the president. This is an American-style, Jewish-led Bolshevik revolution.
Yes, it's exactly that.
September 30th, 2019, Adam Schiff becomes face of Democratic drive to impeach Trump. Times of Israel said, with impeachment officially underway, Representative Adam Schiff launched into a dramatic reading of the essence of U.S. President Donald Trump's conversation with the president of Ukraine. And it turned out to be a lie. Yes. He made it up. Schiff is a liar. He's a lying Jewish congressman who ought to be removed from office. What he did was unspeakable, Doc. He made up a fake transcript of a phone call of the President of the United States and read it into the congressional record as though it was fact. But that's the way the Jews work. They are deceivers. They plot, they lie, they do whatever they have to do to accomplish their political agenda. This impeach Trump movement is a Jew coup. And the American people better wake up to it really fast, because this thing is moving now towards a vote in the House and then a trial in the Senate. We could have a trial before Christmas. This country could be in civil war at Christmas time.
That's right.
If I were sitting here today saying, hey, Doc, all the congressmen that are calling for the impeachment of Donald Trump are Muslims. Almost all the actors in Ukraine are Muslims. This seems to be a Muslim-driven operation to remove President Trump. Would I be allowed to say that?
You would be allowed to say that.
Because
in the current atmosphere, yeah, you would be allowed to say it. There'd be some detractors, but generally, you'd be allowed to say it. Why? Because the Muslims are the enemy right now.
Yes.
They're the bad guys. And who told us they were the bad guys?
the Jewish media,
Right.
and the Jewish politicians, they told us. November 15, 2019, the Jewish players in impeachment. The Jewish telegraphic agencies, the AP, the Jewish world, they're boasting that the major players in the impeach Trump movement are Jews. They're putting it in their headlines.
Right.
But if I put it in our headline, we're probably going to be censored all over social media.
That's right. And they go down through the list. They go Vladimir Zelensky, President of Ukraine, Adam Schiff, Rudy Giuliani's two buddies, Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman. They go on, Daniel Goldman, Nadler. I mean, they go through the whole list.
Yeah, Jerry Nadler. There's another congressman from New York, prominent Jewish congressman who's in the forefront of the impeachment drive. You've got Eliot Engel, Adam Schiff, and Jerry Nadler. Those three Democrats carry more weight than anybody else in this impeachment drive, and all three are Jews.
And Fiona Hill, who testified yesterday, said that if you question, any kind of influence other than Russia being directly involved in trying to influence the elections, then you're being anti-Semitic. And this was March 12, 2018. This is President Vladimir Putin talking to Megyn Kelly. And it says, in his recent interview with Megyn Kelly, Russian President Vladimir Putin set off alarm bells in the U.S. media. Criticizing the United States for throwing 13 Russians to the media, he added, maybe they're not even Russians, but Ukrainians, Tartars, or Jews, but with Russian citizenship, which should also be checked. Maybe they have dual citizenship or a green card. Maybe the U.S. paid them for this.
Doc, I remember this story. We talked about it a lot in 2018. Vladimir Putin said, maybe they're Jews.
Right.
Maybe they're from Ukraine.
Right.
Maybe the U.S. government paid them to do this.
Right.
Do what? Interfere in the U.S. election.
Right.
Vladimir Putin sent a clue to everybody in 2018. He said, stop blaming us for the election meddling. Maybe it was done by Jews from Ukraine with dual citizenship with the help of the U.S. government.
Right. That's what Vladimir Putin is saying. And then we had the testimony this week of Lieutenant Colonel Vindman. Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, once again, of Jewish heritage.
From Ukraine.
Right.
Oh, this story gets really weird. Vindman and his brother immigrated, their family immigrated from one of these Jews who left Ukraine, comes to the United States, and Vindman and his brother, they're twins.
Right.
Okay. And both of them end up now working in the National Security Council of the White House. How does that happen?
Have offices across the hall from each other.
How does that happen, Doc? How did two Jews from Ukraine move to the United States and end up in the National Security Council of the White House at the same time when the president is under impeachment threat? How does that happen? It happens because there are powerful, treacherous Jews in the United States who are placing their operatives in key positions. That's how it happens.
That's exactly right.
And I said it, and I believe it, because we are in great danger right now as a country. This has been allowed to fester for decades, and now we're seeing the fruit of this foul crop that has grown up and is now producing a harvest of revolution.
The next slide here we have, of course, the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, self-appointed defensive coordinator for fighting impeachment. But you got to wonder, with all these different connections here, Rick, is there really a fight going on? Of course, Gordon Sondland, the ambassador to the EU, former ambassador to the EU, son of German Jewish refugees, and of course was opposed to Donald Trump in the campaign, but flipped and gave $1 million to the campaign.
And then for him to flip his testimony was all part of a plan.
Right.
The other guy, Charles Kupperman.
That's right. This is the next slide here. He was the protege of John Bolton in the for years. A good friend of John Bolton's, by the way, former national security advisor. He's filed a lawsuit asking a federal judge if he's legally allowed to testify for House impeachment investigation.
So here's another Jew that Donald Trump appointed to the National Security Council, who's now biting him. Mr. Trump, when are you going to wake up? When, Mr. President, are you going to wake up? When are you going to appoint Christians and not Jews?
Right.
The Christians elected you, not the Jews, the Christians. You have not appointed Christians. You've appointed Jews and they've turned on you. Is that the truth?
That's the truth.
I don't see any Methodists calling for President Trump's impeachment. I don't see any treacherous Presbyterians working to bring him down. I just see treacherous, seditious Jews surrounding the president like a pack of wolves. The Jews have the power in this country.
Right.
Our lives are in danger, Doc. Do you understand our life? When I say your life, our lives are in danger right now. There's a Bolshevik revolution underway.